So today on Versus, we have picked arguably the best Christmas movies, and oddly enough, they're both written by John Hughes. So bundle up your coats, you filthy animals. Apply your prototype kitchen lubricants, because this is Home Alone versus Christmas Vacation. Welcome back to Macho Movie Madness, you filthy animals. And today, on a special episode of Versus, we were pitting Home Alone against National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. And Andrew, when you presented the idea to pit these two together, I was mind blown. I was mind blown. Like I never even thought of it. I don't know why, but I'm like, oh my god, dude, I don't know how to pick, because Christmas Vacation is like one of the most iconic Christmas movies of all time, and it's so important and special to me, and most people as they're adults, you know what I mean, in their adult life, and depending on maybe what age you are, Home Alone, and this is for myself, you know, is one of the most iconic pieces of my childhood. So I mean, when you told me, hey, we're gonna do these two, I'm like, I don't know, I can't do it, and I'm gonna, but it's gonna be interesting.
And then this morning when you told me they were both written by John Hughes, I was like, well, there you go.
And I don't even know how I didn't know this, but I just happened to look. I'm like, oh my god, because they were directed by two different, Chris Columbus directed, and I can't remember the other guy's name that directed Christmas Vacation, but both written and produced by John Hughes.
Right.
And you know, John Hughes is like pretty much any movie from the 80s, comedy or drama from the 80s, that Breakfast Club, Weird Science, 16 Candles, obviously these two, the vacation movies.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. He has done pretty much every special aid you have seen and you love has been involved in some way. Dude's obviously a genius, right?
Right.
And you may not like those movies, but I mean, those are iconic movies, and that's just a straight fact.
Yeah, the box office can't lie on those.
Yeah, the box office cannot lie on that. Anyway, so 1989, Christmas Vacation. 1990, the next year, Home Alone came out. Big years for movies in both of those years, right? 89, you had Roadhouse, Uncle Buck, Batman, Tim Burton's Batman, Indiana Jones, Last Crusade, Lethal Weapon 2, Back to the Future Part 2, Pet Sematary, I think. 1990, you had Back to the Future Part 3. You had Total Recall, Kindergarten Cop, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Stephen King's It. This is Hard to Kill, I think, which was one of my favorite Steven Seagal movies.
Those movies make me want to do the Ninja Turtle dance right now.
Yeah. Where's Vanilla Ice? Anyway, yeah, just huge couple of years for movies, and even in the comedies. So we before we get it right into the categories, we'll do that in just a second. I wanted to let everybody know that I goofed up. So I was going to have Chris give us his picks, and I sent him in too late, and he's been still really busy at work, so he can't be on the show at the moment. And I was going to get his picks like we did for Alien versus The Thing, and I screwed up. So I don't have his picks. So we're hoping there's no tiebreakers needed here, because we're going to have to do something, because this is really hard, you know, like this is a really hard deal. I guess we want to get right into it if there's nothing else to say. Andrew, do you want to read off the categories real quick?
I actually don't have them in front of me, so.
Okay, well, I think I do, so give me a second.
I'm leaning on you heavily.
Oh, okay. All right, very good. So I'll do it. I'll just take care of everything. So for category number 1, we are picking story. Best story. Category number 2 is characters and acting, so not a whole lot different than, you know, our other verses. Score also is number 3. This is where we kind of deviate just a little bit, and we're going to go Christmas vibe for number 4 and lasting appeal for number 5. And we didn't really know what categories to pick for Christmas movies. On Macho Movie Madness channel, you know, we're used to action and horror. Anyway, yeah, so it just trying to pick
the most sense.
Yeah, we're trying to pick something that makes sense, but also give both movies a fair shake, because they both are on top, like to me especially. And it's just, man, it's hard. It's really hard. And I also try to pick fair categories where you're not just, you know, obviously leaning
stack them in one direction.
Yeah. So I guess if you want, do you want to go start first with your story to see who wins story for you?
Yeah, for story for me, it's Home Alone. There's a little bit more going on. It's completely ludicrous, the story of this movie, how this family could go to Paris and leave a kid behind, and then you throw in the wet bandits, canvassing the house for several days, and this little kid outwitting two grown-ups, and I like the story to Christmas Vacation, but it's pretty much just a straightforward, families coming over for Christmas.
Yeah.
I do like the added side plot about the Christmas bonus and everything.
Yeah.
But I think that Home Alone just has a little bit more going for it there.
Yeah, I agree. I also picked Home Alone in this category. I like you said, there's a little bit more going on. It's a little more unique. It's it might be kind of a first of its kind. It's what obviously for kid, it is ridiculous. Mm-hmm. And the older you get, you start to wonder how did Kevin's dad make all this money? What the hell did he do? Was he a mafia guy?
It was Chicago.
He's paying him and his cheapskate brother Frank's way to Paris, and then like I said, they leave him behind in the airport or they leave him at home, and that the second one's where they leave him at the airport, or they deviate from each other, different planes. And with the cutouts and stuff like that, pretending everybody's home and having a party, and I thought the stuff was creative and the stuff was fun. And if you can set yourself outside of reality a little bit, it's still a fun movie. It really is. But that's why I have to give it to it. It's just it's so fun and it's ridiculous, but Christmas Vacation, like you said, it's just kind of run-of-the-mill family coming over. It's realistic, though. Everybody can relate to it. It's just, and it's real fun. It's hilarious. But like I said, just creativity alone and something different, I pick Home Alone.
Yeah.
So, me too. I guess we get into characters and acting then. That was pretty easy. So we'll get into characters and acting if you want to go take it away.
This one I took Christmas Vacation. As much as I enjoy Home Alone, and Kevin and Macaulay Culkin did a great job for as young as he was.
Sure.
And Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern and all those guys, they were pretty good. Man, that was such a good ensemble cast in Christmas Vacation.
I know.
And Chevy Chase is chasing it up and everything. Everybody's so good. The one performance that I love is Cousin Eddie, and he just sets that movie over the top. That part was made for Randy Quaid. Just absolutely love that character. It edges out Home Alone just a little bit for me.
I actually agree with you on that too. And by the way, no, we haven't discussed what.
Yeah, we normally don't on these.
Yeah, we don't. We try not to discuss our picks before we shoot. That way, it's kind of authentic. So we're gonna see where we get down to at the end here. So. Yeah, I also picked Vacation, and I had to think about it for a minute because it was really tough for me. You have, if you have Daniel Stern and Joe Pesci, Catherine O'Hara, who had a couple big 3 or 4 years there, which she kind of got a resurgence a little bit later too, but, Beetlejuice, all that. Macaulay Culkin did great for an 8 or 9 or 10-year-old, whatever he was. He did awesome. I don't love all the characters. I love how crazy they are.
Yeah,
because they're just so over the top, but not one of them's likable. Hardly. They're so just.
Yeah, they're ugly family.
There's ugly family, and it makes you like Kevin's a little shit, but it makes you root for Kevin because as bad as he is, where he got it from. Yeah. It's just a terrible family. Everybody's mean to him. Everybody's just kind of weird and rude in the world anyway. Even the world around them. There's a few that are okay. The redeeming qualities of the guy next door that they thought was a serial killer, who's just turned out to be a sweet old Abraham Lincoln looking dude.
And he was a great actor in this.
Great actor. Yeah, great. And also you had that at the end where everybody kind of got the redemption. And the old man got the redemption with his family. It was really kind of a feel good ending. And I guess Christmas Vacation was too. But to get to that point, it's just so realistic, man. Like we've all had the bosses we wanted to just,
me and you for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Me and you have been through it. Chris as well. We all have that boss that we just want to just drive our size 14 foot right up their ass, right? And I can't speak for everybody. I have a size 14. I have a big foot. Anyway, the family is nuts. Cousin Eddie is, between Clark and Cousin Eddie, you have got just the perfect dynamic in a movie you could possibly have if you want a comedy movie. So I had to edge it to them.
To me, that movie's like at a certain level, and when Cousin Eddie arrives, it just escalates.
Oh, for sure.
Especially the comedy. I wanted to throw something in on Home Alone, though. We're talking about ugly family and how everybody's so unlikable. This kind of pertains to our family, too. This is my kids' favorite Christmas movie. And when they were growing up, I would say, look what you did, you stupid little jerk, and ingesting. And so they're teenagers now, and we still say that to each other to this day. Look what you did, you stupid jerk.
Yeah, look what you did, you little jerk. So I guess we can move on to score now. Just this one, we didn't really know what category. I didn't know another category to pick, and I feel like this was a little bit. This leans one side to me more. This was kind of an easy pick for me personally.
This is John Williams versus whoever Christmas Vacation had.
Right, and Christmas Vacation was your typical Christmas music. There was some good stuff in there, and like the imagination pool scene, and the opening theme was pretty fun. It just seemed very National Lampoon-y to me. I think it fit really well, but there is nothing, like you said, with John Williams. There's nothing like Home Alone, man. Like, right. Home Alone, iconic, man. Like, there's so much in Home Alone other than just your normal Christmas music that, like, the theme itself is super.
Yeah. When they're doing Carol of the Bells and everything, like when he's running to set up for the Wet Bandits, and
yes.
Yeah, just every piece of score in that movie is amazing.
Yeah, the beginning, the end, the feel-good ending, the beginning kind of had a dark, scary vibe to it. There's a lot of places in this movie that were dark, and then
when he's down at the furnace.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And then there's just different, the Christmas tie-ins, the Christmas music tie-ins with kind of the theme in their own little version. Amazing. The setting up the table plans and getting ready for Harry and Martin, just perfect. So, yeah, that was maybe a little bit unfair of a category, but it just happened to fall that way. We do score in almost every one of these, so
yeah.
Just
and it's a major part of a Christmas movie, so.
I mean, that is true. That's very true.
Yeah.
So, I guess we can move right along to Christmas vibe, and this is where I'm still struggling. Like, I've struggled because you've got realistic Christmas,
yes,
versus unrealistic, over the top, but it was super Christmassy. Like, I mean, I almost have to. Go ahead. Give me your. Okay, I'm just kind of talking myself through this, but I almost have to edge it to Home Alone, and it's I guess just because from a movie aspect, from stepping outside the real world and getting lost in a movie, it's not realistic, but every scene I felt Christmas. I don't think I felt that with Christmas Vacation as much, and the reason why I say is because, like I said, Christmas Vacation is realistic, and I mean, how many Christmases or Halloweens or Thanksgivings that just in our busy lives just spring up on us, right? And then, like, I don't feel like Christmas this year. It doesn't feel very Christmassy this year. It doesn't feel, and that's what a lot of Christmas Vacation was. It was just, other than your Christmas night and the night before he's trying to get the lights on, and it was realistic, but yeah, Home Alone was just Christmas overload.
Yeah. And to me, I'm actually going to go the opposite way. I'm going to go Christmas Vacation just because of that realism, just because I've been a dad putting the lights up and, one strand doesn't work and you're going to put them in and
yeah, that's true.
The whole thing's got this great Christmas vibe. I love the Christmas vibe to Home Alone, when he goes into that big church and they're doing the singing and everything. I love it, but just connecting with that realism, I guess, puts it over for me for Christmas Vacation, and that's why I picked it.
Okay. So that pretty much ties it up then.
Yeah, and when you said that, I'm like, oh, he's going to say Christmas Vacation, and so we're gonna this might be a wash, and I'm like, oh no, we might end up in a tie.
Yeah, now we're gonna need now. See, this is where I goofed up. Now we're gonna need Chris's picks at the end, aren't we? Because I have a feeling, we're gonna go the same direction in this last one. So let's talk about lasting appeal.
So are we 2-2 right now?
Home Alone's got story, and Vacation got characters. Scores Home Alone. That's 2-1. We tied for Christmas vibe.
Oh boy.
So I mean, there's no
tiebreaker.
I mean, that would give it. Yeah, there's no tiebreaker for that one there. So that would give it. Do we just wash that? I guess.
Possibly.
It would still be 2-1 Home Alone. I don't know. That's what this is where the Christopher would come in. You know, the Christopher would come in and save the day.
We'll just have to see how this last category goes.
I guess so.
Because we might end up picking the same thing.
Yeah, we might have to alter just to get a final verdict. I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, it's a really tough deal. Okay, so let's go to lasting appeal. Andrew, I'm going to let you take lasting appeal first.
Lasting appeal to me goes to Home Alone.
Okay.
And the reason it goes lasting appeal to me is it's kind of been a tradition in our family to watch Home Alone. Mm-hmm. I literally just showed Christmas Vacation to my daughter 2 nights ago. She liked it a lot. Yeah. But it's had that place in our family. And not only that, but it's spawned how many sequels down the line. One of them's halfway good. The rest of them are just trash,
Yeah.
But it's actually kind of turned into a franchise. I love Christmas Vacation, and I think it's got plenty of lasting appeal. But I think just because of that fact, personally, for me, Home Alone has a little more lasting appeal.
And I think, see, this is where it's going to get tricky because I did pick Vacation, and the reason why, and my mind at first wanted to say Home Alone because I don't have the family aspect of it like you do, but I have the nostalgia. And I still very much love Home Alone. I watch it every year, just like I do Christmas Vacation. I don't know if I could take or leave one or the other. To me, it came down to I had to really think about it as where I'm at now. As a kid, I would have picked Home Alone all day, obviously. And I still love Home Alone very much, as ridiculous as it is. And that's another reason why I kind of had to give it to Vacation, because Vacation is so realistic. Everybody can relate to it. The older you get, the more you understand, you relate, you appreciate it. I still laugh at Home Alone. It's a very quotable movie. I don't know. It might be more quotable, maybe. But I quote Christmas Vacation a lot. Yeah, I relate to Clark so much in almost every scene. Him at the very beginning on the road with the road rage. That's me. Like I'm insane.
When your sewer system's full, you quote.
When your shitter's full, I relate to Cousin Eddie. When you don't get what you want from your boss, I relate to Clark. And who hasn't went on a complete tirade about a bad boss?
Gutless, dickless.
Gutless, dickless, spineless, and who doesn't have the crazy family, the in-laws, and all that? Just that you just want to choke half the time. And the kids were the only half sane ones in the entire movie. I think it's just the relatable aspect and the quotable aspect of it, and how I feel as an adult, and how it's just more grounded is why I think it holds up a little bit better than Home Alone does. Because the story of Home Alone is so preposterous, but you can't take away the special feeling and the fun factor of Home Alone, and it's very quotable too. So it's really tough for me, but I had to edge it to Vacation just because of that. So you'd almost have to wash, and this is kind of I don't want to cheap out, like we did with Halloween and Friday, Part 2, right? But I think we have to give it to Home Alone. I think that would edge it to Home Alone.
By one category.
Yeah, by one category. It's basically two, because even if you wash these last two, because they were tied, you've got the other, it's still one story and score over characters. So you've at least two, even if it's just 2-1, right? So yeah, I mean, it would have been probably a lot better with Chris here on that. But I think I think we made an okay decision. I think that I can sit on that and be okay with that. That's how close and how much love I have for these movies.
You're good with either one of these movies to sit down and watch.
Absolutely.
Just because we said Home Alone ended up winning it doesn't mean that's the be all end all.
Yeah.
It's if you're looking for Christmas vibe and story and a great time, either one of these movies is a good time, a good watch.
Yeah, I agree. I think you can't go wrong with either one of them, and it's as this may not have been as exciting, but it's. I mean, like I said, what do you do?
Yeah.
What do you do? It could have went either way, depending on the categories. And I thought we did, other than score, I thought we did fair enough categories. And just kind of see, it almost just depends on where you're at in life.
Yeah.
Or what you grew up with. But I highly recommend both of these movies, and I'm perfectly okay with Home Alone winning.
Yeah.
So
yeah, me too.
So all right, well, guys, if you agree with our list, let us know in the comments below. If you don't, let us know what you guys would pick. So until next time,
keep the change, you filthy animals.